Morning everybody. So it's here, Coronation Day, and I'm afraid I'm one of those people who have taken the opportunity to get out while everyone is in watching it, and I'll catch the highlights later. So this morning I'm in the village of Odell in Bedfordshire at All Saints Church for a bit of folklore. Now, the story I'm going to tell of Sir Rowland today is the version from the very enjoyable book Bedfordshire Folktales by Jen Foley. Now, one dark night, the maid at Sir Rowland's manor house, hearing loud banging on the door, opened it to a man who filled her full of fear and made her want to run away. She said his eyes seemed to stare into her very soul. He made his way straight to Sir Rowland's study, seemingly knowing the way, and walked straight in and shut the door. Not long after, the maid heard raised voices and scuffling and saw her master in a panic rushing from the house with the stranger in hot pursuit. Pushing servants aside in his haste to escape, as he reached the courtyard, he saw the stranger's jet black mare mounted it and bolted out into the night. Behind him, the stranger called for Sir Rowland's horse. The staff said they could feel the malevolence coming from this man as they fetched the horse, and then he was gone across the fields. Chasing Sir Rowland, he rode like the wind, catching him with every stride. Sir Rowland, knowing he would be caught, headed for the sanctuary of this church. Up the slope he rode and leapt from the horse, slamming the heavy door on the fingers of the stranger as they grasped the door frame. Inside, Sir Rowland cowered as a rumbling voice ordered him to come out and pay his debt. But he just crouched, shaking in a corner, hiding from the stranger that he knew too well. The next morning, the villagers, including the staff from the manor, approached the church with trepidation. They found the church door bolted from the inside and 5 giant burn marks in the shape of fingerprints imprinted on the stone porch. After finding the vicar, I wonder where he was, where all this was going on, he prized open a window enough for a small child to wiggle through, and he unbolted the door, and the terrified child let the villagers in. By the font, they found the body of Sir Rowland, his face twisted in terror and his hands stretched out above him. Even though they had no proof, the villagers knew what had happened. Evil Sir Rowland Alston had sold his soul to the devil, and he had come to take payment. Seeking sanctuary in the church, he had realised, due to his past ungodly actions, he would not be safe for long. So then, it had scared him to death. It is said that once every 100 years, Sir Rowland's spirit returns for one night, reenacting the scene of the chase across the fields and woods to the church. He is next expected in 2044. Now, no one, and I've read many versions of this story, seem to know why he sold his soul to the devil, but I believe he is in an unmarked grave in this churchyard. His manor house and family home eventually burnt down in 1931. Now, I don't know if these are the ones, because I've looked around everywhere else, but I can't find anything else that looks like scratch marks apart from these on here, and I can't find any online either. Well, it really is a beautiful church inside. I've just come inside because it's absolutely belting it down with rain outside. But while I came in here and was looking around, it's a beautiful church. Look at this organ. Down here on the floor is this stone. And on it, it says, "Sacred to the memory of Sir Rowland Alston, Baronet, who died the 29th day of June 1791, aged 64 years, and of his wife, Dame Gertrude Alston." Now I'm wondering, is this the Sir Rowland Alston? I don't think we can find out, but that's very interesting. And now, look at this. It's a beautiful old church. I'll put a bit more information about it on when I actually edit the video. But yeah, very nice indeed. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed that story. And we went inside the church. Lynn, what did you think to it?
I thought it was lovely, very well kept, beautifully preserved, very sort of clean and tidy. Obviously a lot of loving care taken over it. Interesting story. Great to be able to see the marks on the door over there that we hope are...
Well, that's the thing. Done a lot of research on this story, of course, before I came. Couldn't find one picture of the actual marks. You'd think somebody would have put a picture of the marks up. So I put what I think is the marks up.
Yeah.
But there was 3 ladies here when we came, getting ready for the whole coronation thing and all that sort of thing. And they knew of them, but they said they didn't really know where they were. One lady thought they were halfway up the tower, because there is another story that goes that the devil came here after Alston went into the house, into the church, sorry. Mm-hmm. And he actually, the devil shook, was huge, was gigantic, the devil was huge. And he came and he grabbed hold of the tower and he shook the church to get him out. But so she thought it was halfway up the tower wall. But that's another story, because they're all different stories, but the same man and the same story about the devil. So
that's what's so interesting about folklore, isn't it?
It is.
Different stories.
There's so many variations of it.
Yeah.
So we don't know. So if anybody knows, I've taken a video of what I think are supposed to be the burn marks, but I'm not sure. But there's something on there. If you know better, then let me know. And we'd like to know, wouldn't we?
We certainly would. Very interesting. We saw the plaques on the floor in the
We did.
church.
We saw a plaque to Sir Rowland Alston, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which we believe may be the man that it's about.
Yeah.
Something was said about him being buried in the churchyard to try and stop there being a ghost.
Yeah.
Because of the actual fact that he sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how true that is. But anyway, if in fact any of it's true at all. But it makes a good story, and it was a nice journey out. It's a beautiful church, and it's a beautiful village.
Yeah.
So it's worth coming to. It's actually got its own free parking outside. So if you do find it, it's absolutely worth coming. There's a plaque in there also, I'm going to put a picture of, to the gentleman who designed the R101 airship. And I believe he may have died in the airship when it came down, when it crashed. Right. But I'll look up that a bit later and put that in the other comments. But anyway, Lynn, I think it's been a very nice time.
It has, certainly has. Very interesting.
And we're going to move on to another one while this coronation lark's going on.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to move on to a little lost church somewhere, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to try and find that.
Hardmead, I believe, in Bedfordshire.
Yeah.
But also, just like to say, if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic, because it really does help and it doesn't cost anything. So that would be fantastic. And ding the little bell, just so you get further notifications of our stories. So with that, we shall head off. I think first maybe to find a cup of coffee and a bacon sandwich.
I think they certainly should.
Because it's still only just gone 9 o'clock, isn't it? And it was a 40-mile drive, which Lynn manoeuvred very, very well. So we'll see you on the next one, and take care. Enjoy your coronation. Bye.
Bye.
So we're just on our way back in the pouring rain from the church that we've just been in to do the last story in, what was the name of that place we just
Odell.
Odell, yeah. So we've just come back from Odell and we stopped off because we saw this little building here. Now this apparently is a village called Harold, and this is their mid 19th century lockup. And I've got a fascination with these places, so I just thought I'd come and have a quick look at these little lockups that were usually for people who are locked in overnight for drunken, disorderly behaviour. As you can see, it's absolutely bucketing it down today on Coronation Street. King Charles is going to get wet, I think. But yeah, I love these little lock-up places. And so I'd love to go inside and have a look, but I bet it's just a round cylinder of rock. But yeah, so I just thought I'd come here and have a look while I'm going through Harold. I probably won't ever come to Harold again, but it's a lovely place. And this is the village green with a nice bandstand on the green. And now we're going to go and try and find somewhere for breakfast in Olney, which is very historical, but I can't spend the time there today because we're off to look at somewhere else. So anyway, from Harold, now we're off to get a bacon sarnie.